Let's take these three Pixar movies and turn them into horror, starting with WALL-E. We start off with WALL-E himself. First, I separate WALL-E from the background because it makes everything easier to work with. I'll do the same with the text. His hand, well, it's more like a spatula, no? Anyways, his hand goes completely because that spot is about to become something else entirely. I bring in an image of a spear, trim away part of the bottom, and slot it right where his hand used to be. Now, instead of a hand, WALL-E is holding a weapon. Next, I bring in a man with a shocked expression, and his head is about to end up on the end of the spear. Once he's in place, I'll color correct him so he actually blends into the scene. I break up a few different elements in the image so I can slide a moon in behind everything later. That moon matters because it tells you WALL-E is on Earth, and what he is doing to us humans is just cruel. Then I'll bring in a woman lying on her back, and she gets the same color treatment as the man. I start adding shading to her to help her sit naturally in the lighting. After that, I take one of WALL-E's eyes, duplicate it, and flip both of them around. Instead of looking innocent, he now looks sinister. I do not know why, but I'm getting scared looking at him like this. With both eyes flipped, the tubes connecting to him come up short, so I stretch him back into place to reconnect everything. I have an idea. What if we put an arm on the ground, right where WALL-E's tire is about to roll over? I'll push the arm down just enough so the tire lands directly on top of it. Then I add shading so it looks like it's really being crushed. Then I'll also add some blood right after because, well, that has to do a lot of damage. To sell it even more, I bend both ends of the arm slightly upward, that way it looks like something heavy just rolled over it, which it did. Then I'll add blood onto the man and onto WALL-E himself. After that, I'll add blood veins onto the man's eyes, and for an impaled head, he looks very much alive, so let me just desaturate the skin. The woman on the floor gets the same treatment. Then I'll add highlights on all three, the woman, the man, and the arm to tie the lighting together. To finish it off, blood drips from the man's neck down onto WALL-E, which looks absolutely disgusting. And then I'll bring in WALL-E's logo, and when I look at the E with the red circle, I saw the perfect opportunity to add blood dripping from it. Finally, I swap out the original text for something new, which says, "From the humans who are now extinct." And that's the reason the moon sits in the background, WALL-E is on Earth, and from the look of it, he's decided to kill them all. Anyways, this was the horror version of WALL-E. We still have Toy Story and Luca coming up, but next up is Toy Story. First, I strip the poster down, getting rid of the original text. Then I get everything ready by placing it onto its own layer, so I'm set to start building the scene from scratch. The tablet screen becomes a mouth, where the characters are now trapped in. Just wait and see what actually happens to them. Once it's in place, I'll add shadows to the gum so it actually feels like they belong together. The color inside the mouth are off compared to the rest of the tablet, so I bring in a texture with the same bluish screen-like tone and blend it in. A few teeth get broken away here and there, just enough to make the whole thing feel more unsettling. Next, a pair of infected-looking eyes slide in and blend with the tablet's own eyes. Then I'll add blood dripping under the eye and bend them so they wrap around the curve of the screen instead of flat on top of it. The second eye gets the same treatment, with a few tweaks so it doesn't look like a copy and paste job. After that, I'll add a dirty teeth texture, which doubles as a way to make the gums look infected too. Makes me wonder why there's characters in his mouth instead of mouthwash. Then I'll start adding blood on the woman trapped inside the mouth. After that, I'll open up Buzz Lightyear's mouth a little wider, giving him a shocked, frozen expression, and his eyes gets pushed towards a dead, zombie-like look. This is where the story should start to make sense. These characters are staring at their own reflection in the screen, trapped inside it, and whatever is holding them there has already infected them. And if you don't want to become infected the next time you look at the screen, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you! Anyways, with that idea locked in, I darken the tablet in the background so the mouth and the characters inside become the real focal point. I would paint back the light in the eyes of the tablet because, well, if those aren't horrific, I don't know anymore. Then I'll spread dirt across the tablet, and the woman and Woody get the same grimy treatment. Both of their eyes go dead as well, just like Buzz. Now for Woody, I'll add an image of a zombie mouth and drop it straight onto his face, and it instantly looks disturbing in the best way possible. A quick color correction gets it to match the same bluish tone as everything else. Buzz gets a different mouth entirely. Then I'll start adding blood underneath the mouth. Woody's mouth still looks a bit off, so I'll paint shadows into the mouth, and would you look at that. And this is where the whole thing really starts coming together. Buzz's mouth gets the exact same bluish treatment to keep everything consistent. Then I'll add more blood across Woody and Buzz, under Buzz's eyes and across Woody's face again for good measure. All three of them get a rotten, dirty texture on their skin and blood keeps building from there. First on the tablet itself and then across Woody, Buzz and the woman. I finish it off with a color grade to tie the whole scene together, but before we're done, the last step is the text. The original poster says it's on, but this one says they're dead. The The little line in the bottom corner changes too, from the original tagline to never made it to the cinema, because well, they're now focused on one thing only, and that's food. And this was the horror version of Toy Story 5. Now, next up is Luca. I start by clearing away everything I don't need in the image, basically everything around Luca himself, so he becomes the one thing your eyes land on, which you might regret in just a bit. Then I'll add a harpoon gun into the scene next, built right into the boat where a group of people are staring straight at Luca. I never saw the movie, but can someone please explain to me what happened to this guy's arm? After that, the harpoon itself shows up, and unfortunately for him, it's going straight through his head. I erase away sections of it so it actually reads as passing through, otherwise it's just laying in his face. Back on the boat, the harpoon gun gets a shadow to sit properly in the scene. Then I'll add a long rope, which is way too long, so I trim a big chunk of it away. That rope is the thing selling the whole shot. It loops around the harpoon and back into the gun, so it genuinely looks like these people fired it. To get the angle right, I bend the rope into shape, and to make it feel like there's real distance between the boat and Luca, the far end of the rope shrinks down smaller than the near end. Then I'll add shadows, cast from the rope onto the harpoon. Then I move to his face. His left eye needs to close, so I take a patch of skin from his forehead, duplicate it, and draw a line down the middle to separate an upper lid from the lower one. I paint that in by hand and shade the eyelid so it actually looks like skin folding shut. His mouth is way too happy for what's happening to him, so I flip a smile upside down to turn it into a frown. Though later on that gets swapped for something even more unsettling, because even now I still have no idea what it looks like when somebody goes to this. But anyways, the harpoon gets some shading up front because Luca's own face is blocking the light. Then I'll add a shape into his face that indicates the shape of the harpoon that just came out of his face. Then I'll add shading inside it too, just to give it some more real depth. His eye loses everything inside it. No pupil, no iris, just plain white, which honestly reached more disturbing than any color could. With that gone, the blood starts. First it lands right at the point of impact where the harpoon comes out of his head, then down his arm underneath it and back around the wound itself again. A bit more shading goes onto Luca from the harpoon itself just to tie it all together. At that point, I figure the water needs blood too, and it turns out to be one of the best decisions in the whole piece. I bring in an image of blood, angle it to match the perspective of the water, and let it blend naturally into the scene. I trim away parts that don't work and let some of the actual water show through underneath, so it reads as blood spreading through water instead of one flat, thick puddle which wouldn't look real. Now the last step is depth. I want the background soft and out of focus while the foreground, where all the action is, stays sharp. So to pull that off cleanly, I have to protect the boat from that same blur effect, which takes a bit of patience, but it's worth it for how it makes the whole image pop. Then I'll add the text and the logo back in and turn the Luca logo red to match everything else in the scene. So this was the horror version of Luca. Let me know in the comments which poster was your favorite, and if you like this one, you'll probably like this video too.